Hello, good afternoon, all my viewers. I am Abhijit Das from TaxBuddy, serving as a tax expert. Today, I will be discussing about the treatment of setup and carry forward of losses. Okay, before going forward, let's take a quick view on the content that we are going to discuss. Firstly, we will be discussing about the definition of setup and carry forward losses. Secondly, we will be discussing about the treatment of losses. And thirdly, provisions for the carry forward of losses. Okay, now let's come to our point number one, definition of setup and carry forward of losses. Setup means adjustment of losses against the profit from another sources or another head of income in the same assessment year. Likewise, carry forward losses. If a loss cannot be set off in any assessment year due to inadequacy of eligible profit, then such losses are carried forward to the next assessment year for adjustment against the eligible profit of that year. Treatment of setup of losses. We can there are two type of option which is available to us for setup of losses. Number one is inter source and number two is intrahead. Firstly, inter source. The loss incurred by any assessee in respect of one source shall be set up against the income from another source under the same head of income. For example, loss from house property 1, that will be, if that is 1 lakh rupee, and the income from second house property, that is 2 lakh rupee. So the net income from house property will be rupees 1 lakh. Interhead. The losses from one head of income can be adjusted or set up against the income from another head. Example, the loss from house property is rupees 1 lakh and the income from salary is rupees 10 lakh. So the gross total income is rupees 9 lakhs. So here are some provisions which are related to the head of income in respect to setup. So salary loss cannot be set off against any other head, since salary will either be zero or will be in a positive figure. Negative figure salary is not allowed. Okay. So the second one is house property. Inter-source adjustment. There is no limit in inter-source adjustment. Inter-head adjustment can adjusted from all head of incomes, but limited to 2 lakh rupee only. The residual losses after setup adjustment are eligible for 8 years of carried forward. Losses from business and profession. There are three types of business and profession. Number one is normal business. Number two is specific business under section 35 AD and speculative business. So inter-source adjustment in case of normal business can be adjusted from any other business. Intra-head business can be adjusted from any other head excluding salary, and the residual loss can be carried forward for the period of 8 years. Speculative business, inter-source adjustment only can be adjusted from speculative business. Inter-head adjustment not allowed, and the residual carry forward loss is allowed for the period of 4 years. Specified business can only be adjusted from specified business, inter-source adjustment, and intra-head adjustment is not possible, and the residual carry forward loss is eligible for an unlimited period. There are two types of capital gains. First one is long-term capital gain, and second one is short-term capital gain. Interhead. First, let's consider the long-term capital gain. Inter-source adjustment can only be adjusted from long-term capital gain. And intra-head adjustment is not allowed, and the carry forward period is 8 years for long-term. And in case of short-term, the inter-source adjustment can be done from either long-term and short-term, but inter-head adjustment is not allowed, and the carry forward period is 8 years. Losses from other sources. There is only one type of loss which can have loss in other sources, that is owing and maintaining of resources. Any other items will not have any type of loss in other sources. Inter-source adjustment for such loss can be set off from income of owing and maintaining of resources. Inter-head adjustment is not possible. Carry forward period is 4 years. There are some points which should be kept in mind before availing the carry forward loss. Income tax return should be filed before the due date of carry forward loss. Carry forward loss can only be adjusted from the same head of income. So inter-source adjustment is not available in case of carry forward losses. Brought forward losses from business can be set off even if business is not continued. In that case, the order of set off is current year depreciation firstly, then we have to go for brought forward losses from business and profession, and thirdly, unabsorbed depreciations will be adjusted. And here is the provision for carry forward losses and set off of losses. Carry forward of losses and set off of losses. According to section 71B, if there is any carry forward losses of house property, that will be adjusted against the house property income in subsequent year, and the period which is available for such adjustments is 8 years. According to section 72, any carry forward loss of business, normal business can be set up against business income of subsequent period, and the time period available for such adjustment is 8 years. According to section 73, any carry forward loss, speculative business loss, will be adjusted against the speculative business income of subsequent period, and the time limit available for such adjustment is 4 years. According to section 73A, any carry forward loss of specified business can be adjusted against the specified business income in the subsequent year, and there is an unlimited time period available for such adjustments. According to section 74, carry forward short-term capital loss or long-term capital loss. If there is any short-term capital loss and long-term capital loss that is carried forward. So in case of short-term capital loss, it can be adjusted from short-term capital gain as well as long-term capital gain in subsequent period, and the period available for such adjustment is 8 years. And in case of long-term capital loss, it can only be adjusted from long-term capital gain in subsequent period, and the time period available for such adjustment is 8 years. According to section 74A, losses from owing and maintaining resources. So any carry forward loss relating to owing and maintaining resources can only be adjusted income against the income from owing and maintaining of resources in subsequent year, And the time period for such adjustment is 4 years. And lastly, according to section 32, subsection 2, any loss of any carry forward loss of unabsorbed depreciation can be set up against any income other than salary in subsequent year, and there is an unlimited period available for such adjustments. So with this, I conclude my session. Thank you. Have a nice day.